Something that came on before we hopped on the call was kind of the amount of term sheets or just offers and the negotiations discussions you were having with multiple VCs. You were in a hot market, innovative solution, right timing, and coming out of YC. So just a lot of attention on you. How did you go about making your decision to go with the investors that you chose?
It's a good question. I think there was 2 or 3 main factors. Like the first one was the fit on is that investor like reputable? Is like, does he know about the industry we're going after? And do we have good conversation when we discuss? So funny enough, I joke when I said that, but like I never presented a deck. I had a deck, which I sent oftentimes, but it was mostly conversation about the problem we're trying to solve and seeing like what the perspective is. And like, it was more of a conversation of like trying to figure out what the position is and what do they think is the best way to approach this brand new market that's like very hard with a lot of challenges ahead, and bringing them along as a kind of a team member and brainstorm with them and see how it fits together on this. So that was one of the main principle. And then, afterwards, it was all about as well, like if they were interested, if they could bring us some external value, maybe they work in a company that's similar. So we had, for instance, somebody who is the CEO of the largest grading card grading company, who came as an angel. Like those type of contacts really help as well for where we were trying to go to.
And when it came to one, I agree with you. Like I tell founders this all the time. If you're pitching your deck at a meeting, you already lost.
You lost.
Yeah.
And you should send in advance. It's all about like, they have their own questions that they're interested in. They probably looked at the business. And so it was more of a presenting what we're doing and then having them ask the question they were interested into. I like to say that we often think that we're too interesting than we are. Like from them, like they have their question in mind and they want that question to be answered. They don't care about this other area that you think is super cool from your business, but they don't care about it. So that's the main thing.
Yeah, that's actually a really interesting point. A lot of founders feel they have to share something that they're really proud of and like that they've put a lot of work into. But a VC ultimately cares about, a few things that are in their head that they're going to ask and dive into more. And it's better to appease those types of questions than it is to kind of drag them down a rabbit hole they weren't expecting or didn't have any interest in. And, effectively you're selling to a VC, they're your customer effectively. And you need to kind of make sure you're listening to the body language and the questions that they're asking. So my next question for you is, what questions did you ask the VCs to kind of feel them out and kind of get a feel for, who's actually going to be the best partner? And did you make the decision more so on the partner, or do you make the decision more so on the brand, the firm?
It's a bit of a mix of both, right? If you have like a huge firm that's very renowned, it brings a lot more resources as well. And we have different investors some are more seed focused, some are larger multi-stage fund. You see the different types of resource they can help, and even longer term, how they could help like follow up and stuff like that. So I would say it was more about the experience and like asking them about how they think is the best way to go about, like when it comes to like go to market, or like bringing them along and brainstorming with them. So the ones that felt more like a team member, if that makes sense, or like if they were a part of the team of like, how can we figure out that together? And that had really good comments and that had comments that showed that they understood what we were doing and were interested in that piece, I would say.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to look at it. I think some founders feel it's about, they have money, I want the money. And as much as that's important, it's more so you're going to be building a relationship for the next 10 years. And for you guys also have the foresight of the market maybe not going to be perfect for much longer. You definitely want someone that's going to be comfortable in the trenches with you and not necessarily, kind of forcing you to pivot the business into a direction that wouldn't make sense for you guys.